Good morning, friends. We're going to continue talking about being responsible helpers. It's so important to be the helper. And you may not get anything back from it. It may just be something you do, and that be that. And sometimes people don't even say thank you. But when we help others, we need to do it from a place of just wanting to do something nice for someone else, not because we expect anything in return. That would be a lot to keep up with if we had to wait on people to be nice back. And so it's just nice just to be kind without any reason, just because it's the right thing to do. It makes your spirit change inside. But today we're going to talk a little bit more about the Twin Towers. This book is not about September 11th. This book is just about the Twin Towers, and it's called The Man Who Walked Between the Towers. It's about a gentleman who was a tightrope walker, and he walks between the Twin Towers. And at the time, they were the tallest buildings in the United States. And so it's pretty cool. That took a lot of courage. So I can get to you. And I don't know that I'll ever get this right, but I'm going to keep trying. Once there were two towers side by side. They were each a quarter of a mile high, 1,340 feet, the tallest buildings in New York City. A young man saw them rise into the sky. He was a street performer. He rode a unicycle. He juggled balls and fiery torches. But most of all, he loved to walk and dance on a rope he tied between two trees. He looked not at the towers, but at the space between them and thought, what a wonderful place to stretch a rope, a wire on which to walk. Once the idea came to him, he knew he had to do it. If he saw three balls, he had to juggle. If he saw two towers, he had to walk. That's how he was. He hadn't danced on a wire between the steeples of Notre Dame Cathedral above his amazed home city, Paris. Why not here, between these towers? So he did it in Paris, so why would he not do it there? Makes sense to me. I mean, I don't think walking on a rope between two towers makes sense at all. But if you did something great one place, you probably can do it somewhere else. Of course, he knew that, as in Paris, the police and the owners of the towers would never allow it. You must be crazy, they would say. You'd fall for sure. And so Felipe, that was the young man's name, began to plan to do it secretly. The buildings were not quite finished, he thought. Maybe if I dressed as a construction worker. Early on an August evening, he and a friend entered the South Tower. They got a 440-pound reel of cable and other equipment to the elevator. It took it to the unfinished top 10 floors, and they waited till nightfall when everyone had gone. Then they carried everything up 180 stairs to the roof. 440-pound reel. That's four of me they carried upstairs. 180 stairs to the roof of the towers. What? That's dedication. I'd have said, no thanks. There they are up at the top. Now, how are they going to get it from here to here? It's beyond me. At midnight, on the other tower's roof, two more friends tied a thin, strong line to an arrow and shot it across to Felipe, 140 feet away. Oh, look, they shot it with a bow and arrow. Whoa, so clever. If it missed, it landed on a ledge 15 feet below the roof. Bad luck, thought Felipe. Uh-oh, what are they going to do? He crawled down to the ledge over the sparkling city to get the arrow. What? No, thank you. To its line, he tied a stronger line, which his friends pulled back to their tower. To his end of the stronger line, Felipe tied the cable on which he would walk. It was 7/8 of an inch thick, so that's like this. His friends pulled the cable over to their tower, but it was so heavy that it slid from Felipe's grip. The cable's middle plummeted toward the street, pulling the friends on the other tower to the very edge. Oh my gosh, how scary. That's some good friends right there, I'll just tell you. It took 3 hours to pull the cable back up. Frantically, as the stars faded, they tightened it between the towers. Yeah, they did it. It was passed on before they were ready. So it took them all night. Felipe put on his black shirt and tights. He picked up his 28-foot balancing pole. All his life he had worked to be here, to do this. As the rising sun lit up the towers, out he stepped onto the wire. Nope. He needs Spider-Man, doesn't he? Just to sling some webs for him. Oh, gosh. Out to the very middle he walked, as if he were walking on the air itself. Many winds whirled up from between the towers, and he stayed with them. He could feel the towers breathing. He was not afraid. By that, breathing means that they would sway just a little bit with even though they're made of metal and concrete, they would sway just a little bit with the strong winds. He felt alone and happy and absolutely free. Woo, Felipe, you do you, man. No, thank you. I do not have that kind of courage. A woman coming from the subway might have been the first to see him. Look, someone is walking on the wire between the towers. Everyone stopped and looked up. They gasped and stared. It was astonishing. It was terrifying and beautiful. A quarter of a mile up in the sky, someone was dancing. Police saw it too. No thanks. Mm-mm. Crazy. The police probably didn't like that so much. Officers rushed to the roofs of the towers. You're under arrest, they shouted through bullhorns. Felipe turned and walked the other way. Who would come and get him? For almost an hour, back and forth, he walked, danced, ran, and knelt in a salute upon the wire. He even lay down to rest. Oh my gosh, no way. The city and the harbor spread beneath him. The sky surrounded him. Seagulls flew over and over, under and over. As long as he stayed on the wire, he was free. Because if he came off the wire, he was going to get arrested, which is the opposite of free. So he just chilled. He wasn't in any hurry. They're definitely not going to come get him. When he felt completely satisfied, he walked back to the roof and held out his wrists for the handcuffs. They brought him to court. The judge sentenced him to perform in the park for the children of the city. That's all he had to do. Is if you're going to walk between the Twin Towers, instead of going to jail, I'm just going to make you perform in front of the children. This he did happily, though during his performance, some boys playing on his wire jerked it and Felipe fell. That wasn't nice. But caught himself. Woo! Go, Felipe, go. Look at that. There are those boys playing on Felipe's wire. But their parents weren't paying the least bit of attention. Now the towers are gone. But in memory, as if imprinted on the sky, the towers are still there. As part of that memory is a joyful morning, August 7th, 1974, when Felipe Petit walked between them in the air. Wow. That is a lot of courage. No, thank you. Not my style. I hope you enjoyed that book. Now, it really wasn't about helpers, but I guess kinda, because the judge sentenced him to performing for the children and making them happy, which probably helps out the children and the parents. So I hope you enjoyed that book today, guys. And hope you have a really great day and all your online learning is smooth as silk. Okay? You enjoy. Talk to you later. Bye.